Hello everybody, this is Monty with Flowers by the Bunch. Today I need to make an arrangement for Mother's Day, and they asked for 18 red roses and calla lilies. He actually sent me a picture of what he has in mind, so I am going to try to recreate a picture that the client brought to us. This is a glass vase. I have filled it with fresh water and fresh flower food, and I am going to start out with leather leaf as my greenery. I'm going to take my floral knife, cut that stem at an angle, and tuck that right into the vase. Now you try really hard not to get that water in, that greenery in below the water line. But usually what I'll do is I'll arrange my flowers, and then if some of the greenery falls below the water line, I will come back and adjust it after I have arranged the flowers. So I'm just taking my knife and cutting this greenery and just filling it in. Now I like to use leather leaf and not everybody does, and that's completely okay. You can do this with any type of greenery that you like. And if you are going to make something similar to this at home, you can certainly cut greenery out of your yard. Don't feel like you have to purchase greenery. You can always cut it out of your yard, which I think is wonderful. Okay, so there's our leather leaf all the way around in that vase. Next I'm going to come in with some naga foliage. So it's really a pretty broad branch, really. It's got small leaves, but it's kind of broad. So I'm going to take and I'm going to strip off some of the bottom leaves. Now you can save those if you have like little work, like corsage work or what have you. You can certainly save that foliage and use it for corsage work. But if you don't, you can just toss it. So I'm just taking that nagi and I'm cutting that stem at an angle. Again, strip off any of those leaves that may fall below the water line. Because this is such a large arrangement and it has so many flowers in it, so many roses, and I want them to all stand up, I'm going to use the majority of this foliage. Now the picture shows these roses to be a little more compact, like they're not a traditional dozen. They're a little shorter, more compact in the picture, so I'm not going to leave them too terribly tall. Okay, so there's our naga foliage. I do have some Italian ruscus here, and I may use it, but I'm going to wait till the end to see if I want to use it. Okay, so there's our foliage. It's pretty all the way around. Next we're going to come in with our roses. Now, Robbie wired my roses for me. You know, here at our shop, we like to wire our roses. But Robbie already did that, so that's wonderful. That saves me a step. So here are our pretty red roses. The red roses, this variety is called heart roses. I love heart roses. They are, they have a lot of petals. And so when they open just really big and really pretty. I'm going to take my knife and I'm going to cut that stem at an angle, and I am tucking that right down into this arrangement. Again, this flower arrangement is not real tall and showy. It's more of a compact arrangement for roses in particular. Which works out nice because my roses for this container are not quite as long as I would hope. So I am just taking my stems, cutting them at an angle, and I'm just going all the way around in this arrangement with these roses. And if there are any thorns, I usually just use my knife and pull those thorns off the stems. I was asked one day, why don't you just use a thorn stripper? I always have a knife in my hand, and a thorn stripper is just one more step. So that's the reason I use a floral knife. You can absolutely use a stripper if you want to, but I just find my knife works just as well. Now, if I were doing a traditional dozen, I would leave these stems a good bit longer than I'm leaving them. But again, I am copying a picture. So, that's my reasoning for cutting them off a bit shorter. Now, he asked that I not put a bow on it. The picture did not show a bow, but I always ask, most often our roses do have a bow attached, but he asked that I not put a bow like the picture. So that's perfect, no worries there. And the picture also shows no filler flower. It's just pretty greens, roses, and calla lilies. So that's exactly what we are doing. That's a pretty 18 rose bouquet, isn't it? It's hard to mess up roses, but I tell you, the more roses you can put in an arrangement, the prettier the arrangement, I think. Okay, so there are our 18 stems. Again, they were already pre-wired, and you can see how they're all short, kind of making a mounded type arrangement there. Next, we're going to come in with some calla lilies. So I have 10 stems of callas, but I'm only going to use a half dozen callas in this arrangement. So these are actually mini calla. They're not standards. I've got to sneeze. Excuse me. So I am going to use 6 stems of these calla lilies. Taking my floral knife, I cut that stem at an angle, and I am just going to nestle a little white callas right down into this arrangement. And there are our white callas tucked in. So very simple, but very pretty. He specifically wanted 6 stems. I don't know if that had a meaning or not. I did tuck them all the way through just because I thought it might be better all the way through. But I almost wonder if we just put them on the front, if it wouldn't be better, because it would look like we had more. I'm going to try that. I wish they were standard size. I wish they were larger callas, but this is what the wholesaler had. Okay, so there's the 6 callas on the front. And I think that'll be okay. I'll ask the client though when he comes to pick it up. But there is our 18 stems of red roses with 6 white calla lilies tucked into the arrangement. The foliage that I used includes leather leaf and nag-eye, which is this dark green foliage. I just arranged that first and then added in my roses and my callas. Guys, thank you so much for being here. If you have any questions about how we arrange here at our flower shop, you know you can always ask. You can drop that right here in the comments. You can email us at flowersbythebunch@yahoo, or you can send a message over on Messenger and Facebook if you would like, and we will be happy to answer any questions you might have. Guys, thank you for being here, and we will see you soon. Bye-bye.